Wait a minute, this love started off so tender, so sweet. But now she got me
smoking out the window. Must have spent 45,000 up in Tiffany's. Oh no! Got a badass kids running around my whole crib like it's Chuck E. Cheese. Whoa, whoa! Put me in the jam with an X-Man in the UFC. Can't believe it. I'm in disbelief. This bitch got me paying her rent, paying for trips, diamonds on her neck, diamonds on her wrist, and here I am all alone. I'm so cold, I'm so cold. You got me out here smoking out the window, smoking out the window, singing how could she do this to me? How could she do this to me? Oh, I thought that girl belonged to only me, but I was wrong. She was wrong to everybody. Ooh. Just the other night, she was gripping on me tight, screaming Hercules. Got me in the club looking for a new love, someone help me please. Baby, why you doing this? Why you doing this to me, girl? Not to be dramatic, but I wanna die. This bitch got me paying her rent, paying for trips, diamonds on her neck, diamonds on her wrist, and here I am all alone. I'm so cold, I'm so cold. You got me out here smoking out the window of the Benzo, singing how could she do this to me? How could you do this? Oh, I thought that girl belonged to one thing for sure, one thing for sure. But I was wrong. She was wrong. She belonged to everybody. Yes, she belonged to everybody. That she belonged to everybody. Oh no! Look here, baby. I hope you find whatever it is that you need. But I also hope that your trifling ass is walking around barefoot in these streets. Look out! Girl, it breaks my heart that you ain't right here with me. Now I gotta give you back to the city. Oh, you got me smoking out the window, singing how could you do this to me? How could you do this, baby? Oh, I thought that girl belonged to only me, but I was wrong. She belonged to everybody.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the I Can't Shut Up Unless You Tell Me to radio show here on HIMediaTV. I hope you're well. We are not starting today's show with good news. Something happened today in my home state that I wanted to talk about. So this is a Delaware, Wilmington-esque centric type of thing. It's my home state and I care about it. One of the schools in my area, William Penn High School, will be closed next week to allow the Delaware State Police to investigate guns being fired inside the building on yesterday. The school district announced no injuries, thankfully, have been reported in the incident at the largest school in the state. But the Colonial School District said Tuesday. So I live in Red Clay. Colonial is below us, but William Penn is close, is on the cusp. They were closing the school so students can conduct a thorough investigation. It's going to happen today, tomorrow, and Friday. And Friday's Professional Development Day, and no classes are scheduled for students on the day. Also, Monday is Dr. King Day, so kids are getting adequate amount of time to deal with it without having to go back to school. But all before and after school activities, sports, and events scheduled during these 2 days, Wednesday and Thursday, will be postponed and rescheduled for a later date. Staff and students remains our immediate priority. By allowing for this break, it provides officials with time to properly investigate and gives time. Everyone needs to regroup after the events. Students experiencing mental health concerns should contact the National Mental Health Hotline by dialing 988 or the mobile crisis at 800-969-4357. The district said when students return on Tuesday, there will be also extra support for any students who may need it, as well as counselors on hand. I'm glad that they are doing this. It's important that the kids get this level of support. While we are disappointed that this unfortunate incident occurred, we are thankful no one was injured. Thank fucking God. Because in that student staff responded quickly to the safety protocols. Now here's the thing. Delaware is a very small state. I mean, not just in size. There's like 3 degrees of separation for everybody. Everybody knows somebody else. There's a non-zero chance that if there were like deaths at this school, there are going to be loved ones that I know that are either affected or going to be directly affected by it. So I'm just happy nobody passed, and I hope that they figure out who did it and the person is either brought to justice and or given the mental health help that they need. So glad they're okay. It's important. You're watching I Can't Shut Up Unless You Tell Me to here on HIMediaTV. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. So we are all very... I make no qualms about my propensity for leftist punditry here. And while I certainly have my own criticisms of my fellow people on the left, and a lot of criticisms for their, desire to eat each other alive, I find it very important to keep an eye on the right way. And one of the things that the right wing is doing right now is that they are gearing up to make a new culture war issue. And that is centered around gas stoves. Evan, you might be wondering, why are they making a culture movement around gas stoves? Well, over the last 20 years, concrete research has come out proving that, having gas stoves are more likely to lead to fires, are more likely to lead to gas poisoning and gas leaks, you are more likely to, just having a gas stove puts you at greater risk. It also, because of the perpetual leakage of it, that because of how old systems like the one I have work, there's adverse health risks, lung issues, mental issues, because of constantly inhaling tiny amounts of gas, as well as a shortening of your lifespan. I've probably lost anywhere between 10 to 15 years off of my life simply because I've lived in places that have ancient gas stoves in the kitchen. And so the Biden administration, seeing all of this research, common sensely, thinks about, let's regulate gas stoves. If not out of existence, then certainly to make sure that they are all meeting a standard where they're not poisoning the population. And then you had right-wing ghouls like Matt Walsh saying, you have to pry my gas stove from my cold dead hands, which is cute and insinuates that Matt Walsh uses a gas stove day to day, because I actually cook. I'm going to bet all of these traditional conservative men that are pundits, that are also married like Matt Walsh is and that Ben Shapiro is, and I think Stephen Crowder's got a girlfriend. It's funny to believe that any of these men actually do any cooking for themselves and therefore have an opinion on a gas stove. I like my gas stove. I like it enough that I am willing to take the adverse health effects that come with it to use it. But to be clear, as said by Mr. Richard Trumica of the U.S. Consumer Safety Commission, or CPSC, the CPSC isn't coming for anyone's gas stoves, he tweeted. And he had to tweet that shit because, again, goons like, Ted Cruz made a comment on it like he's ever touched a fucking gas stove in his entire life. Matt Walsh said it like he's ever touched a gas stove in his entire life. It's becoming the conservatives are trying to make it a culture war issue. And it's sad, pathetic, and annoying. And what do you expect? People are actually dying because of their groomer, gaslighting on the discourse with gay people and trans people and stuff. So some of the more moderate conservatives, which are still out of their fucking mind, probably realize that optically it's probably better to find a different culture war issue that doesn't have to do with political identity and stuff like that. Because again, conservatism is doing kind of a death rattle right now in America. They're not popular. They haven't been popular since Newt Gingrich won the House in the 80s, 90s, something like that. So this is just, trying to find some way to have culture war wedge issues without actually having to change any of their dog shit economic policies. So that is that. You are watching I Can't Shut Up Unless You Tell Me to here on HIMediaTV.
Da da
I am sitting in the morning at the diner on the corner. I am waiting at the counter for the man to pour the coffee.
And he feels it only halfway, and before I even argue, he is looking out the window at somebody coming in. It is always nice to see you, says the man behind the counter to the woman who is coming. She's shaking her umbrella.
And I look the other way as they are kissing their hellos, and I'm pretending not to see them. And instead I pour the milk. Oh, it is always nice to see you. It's always nice to see you.
Da 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 da.